During your travels with Atreus, he falls deathly ill at one point due to not being aware of his godhood. Following this event, Kratos rushes to bring the boy to Freya to see if she can save him. But as you're nearing Freya's home, this happens.
Somebody just called the serpent.
Now, I know this left myself and probably all of you confused, as the only person in the game who was able to blow the horn is Mimir. And well, he's a disembodied head that is attached to your right butt cheek at all times. So it couldn't have been him. There's a lot of speculation everywhere with people saying that it could have been Baldur, or Thor, or Odin, or maybe even a future version of Atreus. None of these make much sense to me, as Jormungandr absolutely hates the Aesir, particularly Thor. So why would either of them even think of calling the world serpent unless they just wanted to have a friendly scrap? In my opinion, none of the people I listed are responsible. I believe that it was Heimdall, who you might recognize from Marvel's Thor movies and comics as the guardian of the Bifrost and of Asgard itself. Now, the Bifrost in Norse myth is drastically different than the one in game, as the mythical version is a rainbow that acts as a bridge between Asgard and Midgard, while in the game it's a relic used as a sort of key to travel between the 9 realms. Before I go on, it's rather clear that the developers of God of War aren't following Norse mythology very tightly, and seem to be forming their own version of the stories, as they did during the Greek mythology saga of the series. Now that that's out of the way, you're probably wondering what I'm trying to get at. Well, the director of the game, Cory Barlog, posted this tweet upon being asked who had blown the horn during the time in question. Who do you think? Who would be walking in their footsteps looking for them? Alright, but how does Heimdall tie into this? Well, Heimdall is an Aesir god who lives at the top of the Bifrost, which is located right at the entrance of Asgard. So for the game's sake, we'll say he lives somewhere close to Tyr's temple, since it acts as the bridge to Asgard as far as we know. He requires less sleep than even a bird, which is kind of a weird thing to say considering birds need like 12 hours of sleep a day, but maybe because they're light sleepers, that's what they're getting at. Anywho, his eyesight is apparently so good that he can see for hundreds of miles during either the day or night, and can even hear grass growing and hair growing on animals. He sits and watches with the Gjallarhorn on the ready to sound when intruders are heading to Asgard. The Gjallarhorn isn't just some war horn that anyone can have. It is actually one of the most prized treasures of the gods, and its sound is loud enough to be heard throughout all the cosmos. The appearance of the horn isn't described in Norse myth, but we can assume that since it's one of the god's most prized possessions, it's the most exquisite horn in all of existence. And what better horn to fit that depiction than the horn at Tyr's temple that we used to call the world serpent? Which brings me back to Barlog's tweet. Heimdall fits the description of someone who would be watching Kratos and Atreus, mainly because they're in possession of the Bifrost relic, which makes them a huge security risk. That and they let Mimir blow his super special horn. Okay, while he may not have actually been seen following us that we know of, the guy can literally watch anything that goes on from hundreds of miles away, so it would be rather easy to keep tabs on our entire journey. This brings us to why would he do this? Well, he only blows the horn during Ragnarok, but as I said earlier, the game is probably forming its own interpretation of Norse myth. Why would he blow the horn then if Ragnarok isn't happening yet at the time he supposedly blew it? I'd say it was due to his ability to see the future due to being half giant. In Norse myth, it's speculated that Heimdall was born from Odin and 9 mothers, who happened to be the daughters of the sea giant Aegir. It's simple. Heimdall foresaw the events of the game just as Faye did and signaled the gods because he knew that Ragnarok was about to start 100 years too early. He only blew the horn when he did because he knew that Kratos would be occupied with his son's illness, which made it safe for him to emerge long enough to sound the horn. Because, well, would you want to possibly tussle with Kratos when you know that he's going to kill Baldur, one of the more powerful gods? Well, that one was a mouthful, but I think that'll be it for this one. Let me know what you guys think of the theory. I'm pretty sure it's full of loopholes, but I had fun elaborating on it. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think blew the horn? Be sure to leave your answer in the comments section, and do please like this video if you feel it deserving enough. Thanks for watching.